Oconee County. I'm here for my fall press conference. Before I get started, I've got a few comments to make in regards to the death of Deputy David Gilstrap. A week ago today, David was struck by a car while directing traffic in front of Oconee County Primary School. David died some 15 hours later at St. Mary's Hospital. The Georgia State Patrol Specialized Crash Reconstruction Team, the acronym for that SCRT, S-C-R-T, team, is investigating the death of Deputy Gilstrap. The Sheriff's Office is not. It's right and proper that an outside agency investigate the death of the Deputy Sheriff. While I've been briefed by them, I don't think it's appropriate that I comment on the investigation since it is not our investigation. I'll take your questions and answer them to the best of my ability in regards to the death of Deputy Gilstrap, but understand there may be some things I cannot answer. With that being said, do you have any questions for me? Well, I guess the news conference is over.
How was the response being the station?
Say again, I'm sorry.
How's the response to the station being?
The response from my deputies, my employees, it's been extremely tough for us. It's been an extremely emotional time. Currently I have 90 employees, and it is like a family. And everybody grieves in different ways. The death of Deputy Gilstrap has hit us very hard. We do continue the mission. His wife, who works for me, my executive assistant, she's worked for me for 16 years. She came back to work Tuesday and is doing remarkably well under the circumstances.
What kind of feeling have the deputies got for the woman who had caused the accident?
I'm not sure everybody has their own feelings. I think that we all understand that there's a grieving process for everyone, and we've discussed many times our appreciation and understanding for how she may feel. We've not been in touch with her. The troopers have talked to her. We have not. And again, I think that's appropriate under the circumstances. There's no anger or animosity. There's no belief at this point to believe this was intentional. And with it not being intentional, I think there's grief enough for everyone in this sad set of circumstances.
Has there been a lot of worry for the parents around the school area with this sort of incident happening so close to their students?
There has been. There were witnesses who were students who saw the crash. I've talked with those parents of those children, and some of those in some instances they've not told their child that Deputy Gilstrap's dead. Everybody's dealing with that in their own way. The school's been great. They offered counseling to both the parents and the children, and my employees have all received employee assistance and religious counseling as well at their request. It's been tough. The parents at the school and the school staff have been remarkably supportive. We've been conducting traffic at that intersection for 14 years, and the deputies who do that get a bond with these kids, and they wave as they go by and things like that. It's really kind of a neat thing to do, and it's been tough on the kids and extremely tough on the parents and the staff there.
What are the excuse me? What are the charges being held against this woman, if any?
She's not been charged.
Are parents worried about the safety of the students at that intersection now that the deputy has been hidden?
I've not heard that expressed to me. All those intersections are, by their very nature, the fact they're on the state highway, and they're always dangerous. That's why there's a deputy there to start with. Before we put a deputy there, we had a series of collisions involving buses and cars, which were reduced by putting the deputies at those intersections. There's an element of danger in driving to work everywhere, every day. We all face that just going about our normal business. I don't think there's a heightened sense of danger or a heightened sense of worry for students, and even in light of Deputy Gilstrap being struck by a car.
Do you think that this is just an accident, or do you think that it's going to try to be avoided?
I need to let the troopers address that, but there's no reason to suggest it was intentional.
Oh yeah.
accident implies different things to different people. We're going to let the troopers make the recommendation to the district attorney if any charges are to be filed, and we'll accept the results of this investigation like we would any other investigation.
Is it likely that her driver's license will be taken away?
I can't address that. We're not close to any kind of. First off, she hasn't been charged, much less. There's no punishment phase. That's not for me to say.
Who's working the intersection now? Like, is there anyone?
David Holbert, Deputy David Holbert, routinely works that intersection. Gilstrap was filling in for Holbert on a vacation day.
Will different measures be taken now by the deputies that work that intersection?
That's a good question. I've met with the deputies who work not only that intersection, but the other 7 school crossings we do system-wide in Oconee County. I've met with them more than one occasion. And we've talked about what if something should be changed, and if so, what it is. And there's no consensus. Deputies wear reflective vests. They have flashing blue lights. They have reflective wands. Deputy Gilstrap actually had 2 in his hands at the time he was struck. We spend a great deal of money in safety equipment for deputy sheriffs. We spend a great deal of time and energy training deputy sheriffs and how to work these intersections. And we've talked to those people. It's a bottom-up conversation. I'm letting them talk to me about if they need any additional technology, if they need something else. And right now, we've not identified anything specifically they need to make that job safer. Standing in the roadway is extremely dangerous. It's extremely dangerous, and I think most people don't recognize the level of danger when a person has standing actually in a roadway directing traffic. It's one of the most dangerous things we do on a daily basis.
How many intersections do you work on a daily basis, approximately?
We do 8 school crossings.
Is there something different about this specific intersection that makes it more dangerous than the others?
There's nothing we can identify. We've looked at that, and we've looked at that intersection. We've looked at all of our school crossings. We do this every summer, by the way. This is every summer at the end of the school year. We have meetings about is there anything that needs to be changed, if the car rider routes change or things like that. This is something we review constantly, and there's never been a suggestion there's anything we can do to make this safer. We have bought safety vests and the traffic wands and things like that at the request of the deputies who work those intersections to make them as visible as we can make them. Ultimately, the driver, it's a school zone, ultimately the driver has to look for those deputies in that intersection.
What were the conditions during the incident, and what's the speed limit in the area as well?
The posted speed limit during the school zone hours of operation is 35 miles an hour. The conditions were it was dusk, not quite daylight, and the road, it rained previously and the road was wet, but it was not currently raining at the time.
Was she going faster than 35 miles an hour?
There's no evidence to suggest she was exceeding the speed limit that's been relayed to me at this time.
What do you think happened? Is there any idea?
I think I know, but I also think that it's proper for the skirt team to address that.
It was originally thought that the road surface was to blame, or something about the road, but now the preliminary reports are saying that it was basically just disregarding the police officer. What do you feel the consensus has been? In none of the briefings that I've attended with the State Patrol, the road surface plays a factor. The road surface issue came up because the state DOT had scheduled that section of roadway for resurfacing on the Tuesday following the death of Deputy Gilstrap. The reconstruction test had not taken place by that time, and in order to expedite that, we actually the skirt team and actually did the reconstruction yesterday morning. How closely is the Sheriff's Department working with SCIRT? Are they working completely independent and just informing you, or has it kind of been a collaborative effort?
What we've done is, if SCIRT, I'll give you examples of what the Sheriff's Office has done to assist the SCIRT team. We needed a 2008 Nissan Altima in order to recreate this crash. We used our contacts to obtain the Altima. It was driven by troopers during the reconstruction. A deputy sheriff played the role of David Gilstrap during the reconstruction. If the troopers need something they can't get otherwise, then we're assisting them with that. We're not actually conducting any interviews. We've not gathered any evidence. We've not examined any of the evidence.
we're not making conclusions based on the evidence. The only thing we're doing is providing interview space for the skirt team, and we provided the local. In fact, the Nissan dealership provided the Nissan the Ultimate no cost to the troopers to provide to do the reconstruction.